Alright, welcome to Elden Ring. This is a game by the Japanese developer FromSoftware. I guess it's safe to call it the spiritual successor to Dark Souls and Sekiro. Borrows a lot of elements and systems, also inspiration, from these games. It was released about a year ago, but I never had the time to play it. I only tried a bit of the initial area and the beginning dungeon called Stormvale Castle with a friend of mine. It's all a bit hazy. I also remember the area to the east was blighted by the Scarlet Rot, and it was significantly more difficult than the initial area. Other than that, I know it's a truly lengthy game. I'm thinking 150 hours, perhaps even more, if you want to finish everything. The world is truly massive, unlike anything else FromSoftware has created so far. So we're gonna select a new game, and we have to make a character before we begin. So the options for starting class are... Actually, let me press the triangle here. We have the Vagabond with decent armor, good strength, dexterity, vigor. This looks like a stout, robust option. The warrior is more of a dexterity melee class, dual wielding these scimitars. The hero is your strength focused build. I have some experience with it. I remember this is the class that me and my friend played as about a year ago. This is using a heavy battle axe. Really good weapon, does a lot of damage. The bandit has a short sword. It also has a buckler, so if you're going to use parrying, this is probably the starting class for you. It's much better than the average shield for parrying. Now the astrologer is more of a straightforward intelligence caster. They have a staff, so they're gonna be casting lots of sorceries. The prophet has high faith. They have a short spear and also a catalyst for incantations. And they can use a healing incantation, I should say, from the beginning. So that's also good. The samurai, looking really good, has a katana and also a bow. So this is another very well-rounded class. Good dexterity, strength, endurance. Now the prisoner, I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. It's a dexterity intelligence hybrid. They do have a nestock, which is a thrusting sword. It's a good weapon, and they also have a staff, so I'm guessing they're gonna be casting sorceries as well. The confessor, one of the best starting armors I've seen, looking really good. They also have faith, high faith, starting at 14, decent strength and dexterity. Also have a catalyst, so I'm guessing they're gonna be casting incantations. Also starting with a broadsword and a shield. Not sure how good the shield is. The last one is the wretch, and they only have a club. Every stat is 10. Not sure why you would want to start as a wretch. Maybe it's a level 1 sort of a challenge class. I think this time we're gonna be a vagabond. We played as a warrior in Dark Souls, so let's try something a bit more stout. The vagabond seems to be more of a knight class, at least the armor would allude to that. But we get 2 weapons to choose from. We have a straight sword and we also have a halberd. So let's try this one, type A or type B. You know, we played as Joe the Warrior last time in Dark Souls Remastered. How about type B this time? Who we're gonna be? We have to name the character. Let's say Violetta the Vagabond. Body type, yes. Age, these options are mostly cosmetic. And there's also a detailed appearance option if you really want to fine-tune your character. I never have any success with these in Dark Souls and in these types of games, but it's there if you want to spend some time with it. Now, the other thing we have to do is we have to check out these keepsakes. From what I understand, it's basically a gift that you would start in Dark Souls with. They're called keepsakes here. Crimson Medallion. This is actually a talisman. Lands Between Rune. I used to gain many runes. It doesn't specify how many though. The Golden Seed, said to enhance sacred flasks. Fanged Imp Ashes. Ashes of small diminutive golems. I think I know these two enemies. Really annoying to fight, very agile, and can jump back and forth. But I do know that if you want to summon in this game, these ashes cannot be summoned everywhere. There are specific spots where you can actually summon. Haven't done a lot of summoning though. The Cracked Pot, these are a consumable. How should I explain this? These are used to make consumable items. You can fill them with explosive powder or poison powder and you throw these at enemies. And the Cracked Pot is actually reusable. So if you want to craft in this game, there is a crafting system. Can't say I know much about it, but this is also an option. Stone Sword Key breaks the seal on imp statues. I also remember these, but from what I remember, you never actually know what's behind the seal that you're going to break. So it's kind of a hit or miss one, and most of the time, unless you really know what you're doing, they're not going to be much useful to you. Bewitching Branch. Sacred Branch is charged with beguiling power. I have no idea what that does. Said to originate from the demigod Miquella. That's a character I know nothing about. Boiled Prawn boosts physical damage negation. These are also consumable. You get 5 pieces. Can't really say how useful they are. And Sabriri's Woe. Crazed likeness of a noble whose eyes have been gouged out. It's going to attract the enemy's aggression. Honestly, I have no idea why you would want something like this. Enemies are pretty aggressive. Even without using an item like that. Maybe if you're trying to do some type of challenge. Can't really say what type of item it is. Is it a consumable item? Is it reusable? The game isn't really clear. So, and of course, you have the option of no keepsake. That's also interesting. The past has been well and truly left behind. What are we going to pick? Haven't really made my mind up. You know what? How about we turn the page here? We can select no keepsake. I don't want to spend 15 minutes looking at this screen. So let's then not to think too hard about this. And we can finish and create our character. So I'm going to see you in a few minutes after the intro. Select, good, and confirm.
The fallen leaves tell a story. The great Elden Ring was shattered. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. Now, Queen Marika the Eternal is nowhere to be found. And in the night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden was first to perish. Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring. The mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering. A war from which no lord arose. A war leading to abandonment by the greater will. Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost grace speaks to us all. Horalu, chieftain of the Badlands, the ever-brilliant Gold Mask. Fear, the deathbed companion, the loathsome dung-eater, and Sir Gideon Othmere, the all-knowing. And one other, whom grace would again bless. A tarnished of no renown. Cross the fog to the lands between. To stand before the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord.
I must say the quality of the narration was a lot better than I expected. The entire intro was really good. So we get a gesture here. This is the ring. We start the game in this chapel. I don't think all these bloodstains are a good sign. Can't really say how these people died. Now, before we begin the game proper, from what I understand, the Elden Ring was shattered probably by the Queen. She appeared to be destroying something in that intro cutscene, after which the demigods, her offspring, started fighting amongst each other, and that triggered the shattering. So the shattering isn't exactly clear what it is. I'm guessing it's responsible for the world being in the state that it is. And how does the character fit in all this? I have no clue. I'm not sure how we arrived here to begin with, but I'm sure we're gonna find these answers as we play the game. It's a long game, definitely, but there's a lot to find. Now, I'm going to end this intro episode here. Need to make sure that the recording went well and that the audio quality is good. And hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next episode where we begin the game.